What's going on, everybody? Another episode of DMC. Today we're talking about Real Hookup Goals, SwoleMates, and Bow Wow Wow Yippee Yo Yippee Yay. Why? Let's go.
My left stroke just went viral.
Hey.
Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note.
There's levels to this, you and I know. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. What? Sit down. Hey. Be humble. Sit down.
Get it!
Yo, what's going on, people? I am Jimmy V. I'm the people. Nah, I'm trying to do the Kendrick.
Hey man, you almost had me. I was like, what's going on with people?
I need some words though. I need some
I was
words.
like, is he gonna say I'm back with the sequel, or I didn't know?
I'm headed to the steeple.
The steeple. Hey.
Hey,
That's right.
we'll get it down next time.
One of these days, you know what I'm saying. How you guys doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. How are you? I had a crazy day today. A lot of major fails on my part.
Really?
You caught some L's?
Today was a fail day, though.
I took
Me
some
too.
L's. Yes.
Thank you.
Yay for
Oh,
L's.
God.
Yeah, you are happy to catch an L?
Well, just so it's not me, because I was like, this is getting,
No.
there's too much of a
Stay over
theme
there.
happening. I was like, Parker Lewis
Well,
cannot lose.
I'm not gonna get into too many details, but I normally live and die by my calendar app, my Google Calendar.
Yep.
And I usually put almost everything in there, but there's a lot of times I don't put certain things in there because I'm like, no, I'll just remember it.
Right.
And I
Right,
do. And for some reason, just between yesterday and today, and then I just got a lot of things mixed up. I booked a bunch of stuff to do today, like a bunch of important phone calls.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, like, well, why would I book those phone calls when I got all these other things going on? And I didn't. I got my days switched up. So
So you're on
show-
like Tuesday time, even though it's
dude,
Wednesday.
I thought I had stuff that I had to do that I have to do tomorrow. I thought was today, and vice versa.
okay.
So I'm
So
showing.
that's why you came to the studio late.
But I wasn't at the studio late though. I was on time today. I was actually
I'm
early.
playing.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
playing.
I was in the
gonna
parking
throw
lot
one
with
to the
20
bus
minutes to
there.
kill. But yeah, either way, man, I took some L's today.
Got you, man.
But on the flip side, I did get my car fixed.
Okay,
so
Was
for
it-
free.
at least, for free.
At the body shop. But that's because it was like, yo, Kels, like you low-key got a punch card, 10 repairs, and you get the 11th free because
They
I've been
owe
there
it to
that
ya.
many times because my
Really?
whip is legit a magnet for other cars. So I went to
Oh, I
fix
thought
something.
he was gonna say a
They had
magnet for
fixed-
the ladies.
No,
or
no,
something.
no. They
Okay.
fixed
Weird.
something that they had to fix from a previous repair, but then someone hit me in between that. So then they were like, man, I'll just paint it for free. Don't even worry about it.
And you said
nice.
your name was?
Chaos J.
If you don't know, it's my man Chaos
if you
J
don't
in the
know,
building.
it's your boy Chaos Jones in the building.
And
Yeah.
I am your host, Jimmy V, of course. And we are here with our queen, who?
Hey, everybody, it's Constance Dunn. You can always find me at Instagram or Twitter at Constance Dunn.
Or you can just Google taking L's and you'll see our pictures.
I know, right, exactly over here. They
Jeez.
are happy to take L's, you know.
Not really.
Yeah, I listened to you guys last week. I was in a hotel in Philadelphia.
Oh, see,
Philly.
Hello.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I actually went out to this great restaurant, and my husband and I walked around the city, and then we just happened to get to our hotel room at like 11 o'clock
Dope.
East Coast time.
Okay.
And I was like, it's time for a little you know what.
Little
DMC.
Last week's episode was Thoughts on Thoughts. It was our
Yeah.
thoughts about thoughts. So if you haven't caught that episode, go check back in the Black Hollywood Live channel section and go check our last video there. So.
And not only do you need to check that out because you want to be current for when we do thoughts on thoughts too,
That's right.
because we
That's right.
definitely got to follow that up.
Yeah.
Definitely. A lot of people did enjoy that episode, actually. So
I have a question though. Did you guys feel like you were completely candid? Did you feel like you could be completely unleashed, kind of, sort of?
Kinda, but there was still a lot of stuff that I kind of held back on.
I could feel it, man.
Like,
Just
I didn't-
as a
Yeah.
viewer, I could feel
I
it.
was like,
I wish
So-
we
so-
had you here because you're able to give the female perspective on it, you know. So I feed off of that,
I don't
you
know.
know.
I missed you, but I don't know if I wanted Constance there.
No.
I like Constance to have an untainted image of me, even though she did watch. So
though
I
she
think
did
that's
watch,
part of
right.
the reason. I was like, no, I got.
That's funny.
But yeah, I definitely feel like at least in the the next one, we'll probably, pull back a little bit more. And hopefully we'll be able to get Tehran in earlier because
Right.
he definitely had a lot of good contributions. But I want everybody back, so we definitely got to get Kareem 3K back
Definitely.
in,
Yeah.
and
Shout out to
Tehran, and we
Kareem,
definitely
too.
got to do it again. It was definitely a dope show.
I thought it was good that it was all male. I want to have a female free for all in here too.
Oh,
You got no
do
men.
that. But I'll be in the chat room too. Like, wait, what? What
Like,
she
hey,
said?
I mean, low key, depending on how many y'all have, if there's enough room, I'll just sit here and
I
be
know,
a
right?
silent
I'll just
commentator.
be, I'll just be staring.
You know what it is though, when like women get together, we can't not hold. We can't like hold back at all.
Well,
It's
we'll
gonna
watch
be,
from out there, Jimmy. We'll watch from out there.
Yeah. No sound though.
Yeah, no, I think it
We'll
was
troll.
A good show.
We'll troll
good
the
show.
comments.
Yeah.
So one thing though, we kept it real. Hey, that's what
We did.
That's what
We
the
did.
fellas do.
We did.
But
I mean, I did not think about it. And I've been thinking about this all week. I didn't think about it until he brought it up. Like,
What?
don't enable the thoughts.
Yes, exactly.
And we enable thoughts.
We actually overpassed that whole thing. It's like we already accepted it. What I liked about Tehran was before accepting it. Whoa! Do you understand what you are doing? And that's
Exactly.
And that's where.
So I've been
his
thinking
whole-
about that, like, okay, like stop liking these booty pictures on
exactly.
Instagram. But
If
sometimes the man
don't
in me,
do it-
I can't. I'm
That's
just
the
like,
thing, though.
oh my god.
That's
It's
the thing,
just-
though. If we don't like them, somebody's gonna still like them. So the
I'm just
revolution still
right.
goes
So I'm
on.
like, well, I might as well go ahead and get my like in.
You know what I've been doing on Instagram, because I get so kind of like a bee in my bonnet when I open up my whatever surprise feed, like the search feed, and there's just like I see female asses. Because as a straight woman, that'd
That's
be like if
nothing
you
new.
guys were seeing bulges every time you open it
Yeah,
up.
I'm not like
saying
that.
that. Yeah,
Right,
whoa,
right.
whoa.
Well, that's the equivalent, because guys
Leave
are
the
often
bulges on the rim, okay?
Exactly. So a lot of times I actually report inappropriate content because
Oh,
I do not want to
okay.
see ass cheeks
So-
and whatnot. And
So
ass
there
cheeks
you go. Dunk
You're one of those
101.
people, huh?
If you got
Alright.
Dunk and Dunk 101's TL, she might report you.
If it's
just
straight
FYI.
up porn, just because it's like I'm not.
Okay,
interested-
well, yeah.
Well-
For me, I'm not even liking on the straight up.
No, I don't
porn.
think you would.
For me, I'm just liking on like you at the beach,
Exactly.
or you got on a fly outfit,
Nice-
but that donk is
nice
just
whole little
visible.
joint, right,
Then
right.
I'm just like, okay, you get a heart.
I do.
I'm not
heart
leaving
pretty
comments.
girls.
I'm not leaving emojis.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it classy.
You
But
just
you might get a
Give him
like.
a double tap.
And you'll
You
get
might
a
get a
like
quick
too.
double tap.
I like looking at beautiful women. Like I follow, that Italian actress Monica Bellucci. Mm-hmm. Sexy. I like her, and I like Sophia Loren, who's back her heyday pictures. So I like a beautiful woman as much as an ex guy.
Me
I
too.
just don't want to
Hey,
see
that's
the
what I'm
jump.
talking about.
Hey,
Yeah, I like
hey.
to look at good-looking women.
I got you, Kels.
Bam, bam. and then I saw this real quick on Twitter, and I know we got to get to the meat of our show. We got
Right.
a lot to cover, but I saw this on Twitter. It was a great question.
What's happening?
And it said, "Is it okay for another man to like another man's selfies?" And some people was like, "Nah, if you like another man's selfies, that makes you gay." And I disagree. Like,
I disagree as well.
because now if you're liking that with the intention behind it to like say, hey, I like your picture and I like you, I'm gonna slide in your DMs, then of course then that means that you are interested in that man. But pause all day, but like you might throw up a fly selfie, and you have thrown up a few, and I like it.
Sure.
And it's not because
do I throw up selfies?
you've thrown up at least
Video
one.
selfie. I
Right.
do video
Yeah,
selfie.
right.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
the
like
art.
videos.
It's
Yeah.
the art. Solamente. Only the art.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've liked it, but it's not because I'm
Right.
like, yeah,
It's not
Jimmy,
right.
what you
Whoa.
doing later?
I
Not
think
even.
I
I'm
think
just like, that's
anybody-
the homie. That's the homie. He's a handsome man, and he's throwing some stuff up, and I'm just throwing support.
Right.
Right.
I
So-
think anybody that even has to question if, should I not like this? Because they might think, then they got some stuff to think about on their own.
Exactly. Because if you know what your intentions are when you're double tapping. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It should not be any more of a double. It shouldn't be a double standard when it comes to that, because it's not a woman will double tap on other women all day. Girl power.
Yeah,
tap,
yeah.
tap, tap.
Yeah.
Boo,
Look
boo,
at
boo.
So
Like
dude
in
power.
everything.
Also, it's an inspiration. I have a feeling a lot of guys will like a guy's photo because it inspires them, like especially if they're into the gym. Because I know
Exactly.
if I see a
Because
girl
I'm
in
into
really
the
good
gym, I
shape-
just haven't been in the gym.
Right.
But I'm into the gym. I'm gonna get there one day.
Yeah, the concept's very appealing.
Every
the whole
day I'm like,
workout.
I'm gonna go,
I
and
just
then
think
something
it's-
happens
yeah.
and I don't make it.
It's
you know.
weird that you just have to keep doing it. It's like a jip. You know, you go sweat, you're like nuts
really
off in
have
an
to.
hour class, and then you have to find out you have to go back again in a few days. It's not like once and done.
No.
That's a joke.
No, it's not even. It's not even like, bam, I got here, I arrived.
I
20
paid.
pack, and then it's like no, because it's like
gotta
if you
work
don't
towards
go
it.
within a week or two, then that 20 pack drops to like
It
you know
fades away.
It fades to like a 12, and you're like, what happened? Where's my other 8 abs?
And then it's tough too because you might be on it, and then if you miss a day or two becomes 3-4 days,
Really?
and it's like, you know what? I'll start next week, and then that might ever happen. So
Yeah, yeah. And you know, guys have it harder than women because women can always claim the curves, right? If I haven't been going to the gym for a while, guilty. I can always just get a little BBW and it can just be okay. But with guys, it's harder. You
What's
know?
up, BBW?
Big beautiful woman. It's an acronym, but it's
Okay.
I'm not truly. I just go leaning towards that area.
you're like BBW light.
yeah, BBW light, like
BBW
a diet
light.
soda.
I like my girls BBW.
I was more legit BBW. I was a size 12 back in the day.
Really?
Easy.
Large and in charge.
Oh, you're still in charge, so ain't
Thank
nothing
you.
changed actually. Huh?
I learned to love clingy knits at a young age.
Cleaning knits.
Clingy knit outfits.
Oh,
and stuff.
clingy.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you gonna get me distracted on set. All right, so today we are talking about real hookup goals,
Yes.
guys. People hook up for different things, sex, which is most of the time, intimacy. It could be for some money, right? There's all these different things. Is there a good way to do a hookup? Like, let's say what men typically want versus what women want in a short-term relationship, also known as hooking up, right?
Right.
So most of the times what comes across our desk is the girl might really be into this guy, but the guy just wants to hook up, right?
Right.
That's just an average thing that we always hear.
And she agrees to it.
Exactly.
Thinking like I'm going to change him.
Yes.
Right.
And it never happens like that. And
Right.
and for me,
Yep.
it and we say this all the time, so I'm not gonna get on this horse too long, but you have to be clear with your intentions.
Yes. Thank
Don't
you.
try to do a bait and switch. Don't agree to being just a hookup side piece and you really want to be the main. You want to be the
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, sometimes there's that rare exception where it works out. Like, it's like we started out just hooking up as friends with benefits and we became lovers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But a lot of times it doesn't shake down like that.
Thank
A
you.
lot of times
Thank
you
you.
find out that, you know, he's got somebody else and
Yeah.
he's serious about them. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, what about me? Like, I was hoping we could do blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, like, I thought it was only going to be friends with benefits. And he's already categorized you as that friends with benefits.
Right.
You know?
That's why I think, yeah, it's very important. And if we have that graphic up, it would be great.
I mean, and it works. It works both ways because there's been times where you know the dude ends up wanting more, and the chick's like, "Nah, B, like
Right, yeah.
this
exactly.
legit. You was just some meat stick."
Right.
Yep.
And this graphic is great because it shows this breakout. And I don't think this is a scientific data, but I just loved the concept. It was on smarthookups.com and it's a gal, I think she's a PhD. So this probably came from some source. I just don't have the citation. But it
Okay.
shows you kind of this pie chart of where the Aqua, if you're looking at this or joining us on iTunes, thank you, have 20% of the whole pie that both want the casual sex. So that's great.
Right.
What you're talking about, chaos. Both are on board for you know what, a little good old time. In the case of 12%, both want a relationship. And then we have like the 61%, the larger area. This goes right back to what you're saying. The girl wants a relationship, guy wants casual sex. And that's where it's really interesting. And thank you for putting that up. But that's where we get into the problems.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I looked at just some research in that when it comes to regrets on hookups, women are more likely than men to regret a hookup.
Wow.
And particularly 25% felt used and confused, which seems like a small number to me. But that's it. And it goes back to what you're saying. I think it's the idea that, especially if you're crazy about a guy, you're like, if I just do this, maybe I'll be so amazing and maybe it'll create such a bond between us.
Right.
But it doesn't, I mean, a lot of that has to do with also the way that our brains work biologically as women. That the idea is when we connect with a man, we are hardwired to start viewing him as the father of our offspring. And it's hard to fight chemistry. You know, I think some women can, I'll screw. But I have anecdotally been studying this for about 20 years, and I think I've met two in my entire travels. So.
That they're able to sport screw.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just say it.
I
but,
know, I do too.
We're gonna keep it classy today.
It's a family show.
Let's get it on.
But yeah, and not catch feelings is what you're saying. You
Right.
know, two women.
And I feel passionate about this because of my sisters out there, and I know what it feels like. And
Out in them streets. Them
yeah,
streets can be rough.
and I understand it, especially when you love somebody and you're under the delusion of feeling like you want this guy so much, and you kind of goes back to the reciprocity principle. If I do this for you, you'll do something for me.
Well,
Now,
and then
what?
oh, go ahead.
I was just wondering, in general, why lie about what you really want when you know it's something else?
Because we both want it, right? The guy might want sex, and the girl might want you.
Perfect quote. Men give love to get sex, and women give sex to get love.
Straight up, yes,
That was good.
exactly. This is what I'm
That
saying.
was good, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And it does suck because at the end, someone's always going to get their feelings hurt. But again, I know a lot of people where they are straight up and they say, look, this is all this is going to be, and either you with it or you're not with it. And as much as that sucks, because some people don't like that and they don't like the reality of it because they may actually have more serious feelings, you really need to do that. And here's the thing, ladies
And men.
and men, but I'm going to be biased because I am a man.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Here's the thing. If a man tells you it's all he's trying to do is hook up and be friends with benefits, believe him.
Yeah.
Until he comes back and says, you know what? I think I'm getting feelings for you. Let's do something else with this relationship. Take him at face value. If he
Yeah.
says, look, we just going to hook up occasionally, have fun, hang out, that's all it is. Keep your options open. Don't, enjoy that. But keep your options open, because if you do want to at some point get in a serious relationship, don't be closed off with this one guy that you're just having fun with.
That's right. And
miss out on the real deal that you can also have fun with, but also have much more. But at the same time, on the flip side, women, stop agreeing when you don't agree. You don't agree to something that you really don't want, and stop saying one thing when you know you mean another. Stop saying you want Chipotle when you really know you want Chinese food. I'm just saying, stop making these random declarations when you know you really want something else and you're hoping that the tables will turn, because I guarantee you they're not.
Yeah.
If you tell a man, I don't want kids, I don't want kids, I don't want kids, I don't want kids, and then later on, you really wanted kids, and he's like, no, you said you didn't want kids, and he starts to move on to
good
do
point,
something
though.
else. Don't be salty about it, because you've been telling him and beating in his head that you did not want kids. And when he decides he wants kids, this is just an example, when he decides he wants kids, you can't be sad about it, because you've been telling him one thing. So don't say, I just want to hook up, I just want to hook up, I just want to hook up, when you want something else, because he's going to take it for that. And when he's tired of just hooking up, you're not someone he's looking at, because you've already beat it in his head. You just want to hook up.
And then, too, I think on both sides, don't go into a situation expecting to hope to change their mind on said topic,
Exactly.
on
I
whether it's kids,
know.
whether it's just casual sex, relationship. Don't go into it saying, I'm gonna give it up, but hopefully down the line he'll change his mind, and boom, because then that's where you set yourself up to be hurt in the end as well, when said person is like, I told you what it was, that's it.
Yeah, when they told you what it was. And it's something funny. I used to not want to hook up with people because I've said before on the show, I had brothers and stuff, and I had a really strong sense of, most importantly, I didn't want to be disrespected. It's so
Yeah.
weird. I just had a big thing about that. So it would override any And as a result, I had a reputation that nothing was going to happen. So I might have liked some guys, but they weren't interested in me because at the time, obviously, teenagers, you want to be with a girl that maybe you have more opportunities with. I don't know. I just think that I missed out on maybe certain things because I had a rep for not doing anything, like nada. I'd kiss,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So I used to feel like,
So
maybe I should
you weren't
compromise.
known
like,
as that girl that would go all the way.
no, I
guess
was the
not.
friend. Like
She was
we'd
like
hang
she
out.
was like super prude. Like it's like you go out and you're like, man, like I'm really feeling this chick, and then all she was doing is giving you like a little peck, not even a little tongue.
Right.
And you like, man, it's been like 3-4 weeks. Like we
you
ain't
would
getting
get
nowhere.
that.
Like I ain't even get to squeeze her butt cheek, so I'm out.
I was always the one having parties and stuff, so I was like the fun friend. I wasn't gonna do that. I don't know if that was the reason I didn't have a lot of boyfriends or I had no boyfriends.
But you know what? That's all right, Constance, because guess what? Men don't like women with a high body count.
Isn't that the truth? And we know a few people now, they've been getting a whole lot of flack, I guess, for kicking somebody out over maybe having
thank
more
you. See?
body counts than necessary. But
Yes.
this is the question that nobody wants to ever answer, whether you're in a relationship or not. What is your body count?
Oh
Yeah,
right, the
yeah.
number, the
The
number.
woo.
Man, oh man,
It's
and it's
really
one of those
funny.
things that and this is when that double standard always comes into play.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we can have a conversation. You might tell me your body count, and I'm like, oh snap, oh no.
Oh, yeah.
And whether, you know, like especially if your number is higher than, you know, a few other people, I'm gonna give you props on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but then at the same time, a chick's like, yeah, I got that Foley, you know, that
You're like,
Foley 50. You're like,
what?
whoa.
You're like,
It's the double-
it's like, but you know,
It's the
at the end of the
standard.
day, like it's a double standard because who's to say, you know?
Right, yeah.
What's
you know
wrong?
what? I always judged men in the same way that men judge women. If I
And
found that a
that's how
guy
you
was
should.
a hoe, I was like, I immediately wouldn't like him. It was something visceral inside. If I even found out he was a little slutty, he would immediately cease to be good looking.
Okay, but
And
what
I'd
if-
get-
what if
I'd
he
get-
was-
I
What if he was a
think I'm
reformed hoe, though?
little slutty.
I
ain't
don't
gonna
think
lie to
you
guys.
are. I think you're an
I know we're
angel.
on camera and all, but hey, I ain't shit. I'm telling y'all right
You're
now.
a single guy. But
I am single.
Yeah.
But what I was going to mention, guys, is damn, I completely forgot. Oh, there's a saying.
Because you're so slutty.
Exactly. My homeless
it
got
calls you- yeah,
up
it
in the
kills
way,
your
right?
short-term memory.
You know, when a
Home
girl
kills short-term
says
memory.
this number, you know you gotta multiply it by 3 because she says she only got with 4 or 5.
Right.
So you gotta multiply that by 3 to get the actual number. Is that true? Like, have you ever said,
I
"Oh,
think
I've been
so.
with these amount of guys"?
Right.
Really, you gotta times that by a few numbers.
Right, I think so because
Yeah,
I've
okay.
actually known some straight up some thoughts on thoughts, and then they're like moved to a new city or whatever. They have a new guy who thinks they're the little angel, and I'm like, holy shnikes,
Oh
I'm the
my
keeper of the
gosh,
secret. I'm the
yes.
keeper of the code. I could be making some money
Yes.
because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm from a little farm in Idaho.
Oh man,
But you know
I
what though? Dudes do
Yeah.
the same thing.
I
Dudes
feel-
do the
oh,
same
man.
thing. A dude is not gonna tell the truth about his body count.
if he remembers it.
If he remembers it, he's not gonna really tell the truth
Right.
to someone that he's in a relationship with, unless they have a complete, unabashed honesty policy. That's one of those things.
And that's
that you're
even
just-
hard to come by.
It is, and not only that, but there's just certain things you just don't want to know. Like you might be, you know, jumping up and down with your current partner, and you're like, man, she is really good at blah blah blah, and you kind of want to know how she's good at blah blah blah, but you don't want to know because you're like,
Right.
if she's this good, then how did
Listen, man.
then how did she get all that practice? Now, so you don't really want to know, and it's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's just most people just don't even ask.
Last thing, and then we'll
Because
move
ultimately,
I read
ultimately,
a book though. I read a book about actual technique.
oh,
on
so
how
it
to
could be
share
from a
it.
book.
right,
Oh,
it could be from a
oh,
book. It could be
okay,
from
okay.
research.
Yeah, like a
Maybe
really
they-
it
big
could be.
book, and I really
Maybe they
read
studied.
it.
It could be.
Maybe they studied,
However,
Kels.
ultimately, don't ask questions you really don't want to know the answers to. And ultimately, if you're happy with that person, and they're happy with you, and you guys are agreed upon a monogamous relationship, then don't worry about what happened before you.
Right.
Because it ain't going to change nothing.
It will just stress you out.
It'll stress you out, and it's not
Stress
going to
you
change you. They cannot go back and fix it.
That's
They can't go back and change their hoish ways, man or woman. So just let it go. L.I.G. it.
In a way, it can be seen maybe as good in the sense that I know somebody who had a high body count, a dude,
Right, yeah.
and I was like, he's someone I'm very close to, and I actually thought, well, that's not a bad thing because that means he got his yayas out. What do you think? As a dude,
He sold his royal oats.
yeah,
You know what? I
royal oats.
completely agree. I say man or female go through a
Yeah.
whole phase, okay?
Yeah.
Where they either hop on everything or they're sticking their thing in everything.
They just
So,
falling in and ran.
with that said,
I
right,
was just trying to get
they
some
might
milk
go
and I fell in
through-
some random.
they might go through a time of period where they're getting with a whole lot of people, you know,
Right.
and then, but later, a couple months or something, year down the line, they're not that same person. They've grown from that, and I've actually
And they matured.
Exactly.
Grown from that.
Okay, now I wanted to add to that, is that, you know, you always hear the expression, especially, at least I used to hear it when you would hear about couples, you know, either, you know, getting too serious too fast or even considering marriage too fast. Granted, I know in some cultures,
Let's go to Vegas.
right. In some cultures, it's okay. It's almost expected, you know, where she gets out of high school and shortly after that, she's popping out babies and they're getting married and they're in their very early 20s. Some cultures, we're like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you have your parents and elders that are like, nah, like you got, you know, like don't get in too much of a serious relationship and don't think about this and you about to go to college and you got to live life. And it's always funny because live life is really just a euphemism for
go
you
out
just
and have
gotta
the fun.
have as much sex as possible. And it sucks that, you know, it's always geared more towards, you know, boys and young men that we tell that to versus women. Women be like, yo, get as much pain as you
I
can.
know, right? Go and
But it
open up your legs to as many.
ultimately,
No.
It's going to happen regardless. Yeah, there's going to be chicks that are going to have that, you know, that hoe phase and that experimenting phase.
Yes.
And there's going to be guys that are going to go through that hoe phase.
Yes.
And maybe, or, you know, some people are more sexually fluid. They're going to have that experimenting phase too.
We've got to talk about that sometimes. But here's the thing with women, I think, with the regret, going back to what the data says, is that women are more likely than men to have regrets about hookups, so short-term relationships.
You know what? That was actually
That's the thing. So the
yes.
thing is, so there's some psychological collateral to this, not to mention STDs.
But do you think that some of that psychological collateral comes with the stigma that comes from the double standard of that we put on women, you know, for being, you know, we consider women, oh, it's a bad thing that you're
Interesting.
promiscuous, and so that's instilled in women from a very early age. And men is like, go out and sleep with as many women as you can before you
Right.
settle down. So do you think that those things work hand in hand?
No.
Because if we were in a culture where in our society we said it's okay for women to sleep with as many men as they want to sleep with until
Right.
they're ready to settle down, that there wouldn't be regrets from one night stand hookups because it's okay.
See, it's interesting. Okay, now that you're saying that, I think that probably there is like a cultural component to that, but I think a lot of it has to do with when you're seeing that the regret has to do with being used. I think there's this idea where it's showed as being fun and there being no consequences. Like, do you remember Sex in the City? I know this was like back in the day. A little.
I remember
I
Sex
like
in the
that
City,
show a lot.
12 o'clock at night, UPN.
Right, fun. And
I'm
I
just
always-
saying.
I always liked the show, but it
Yeah.
also it doesn't show the downside to promiscuity, and that's
Yeah,
what the
right.
problem
It
was.
only
Especially
shows the good
if
side.
you're viewing it as like a teenager, it shows that these girls
Which I
just
was.
sashaying around, having fun, having
Yeah.
a good old time from left to right, and there being no problems. But I think in reality, when women often give it up, and I'm not talking about women that are really know themselves and they're adult women and they want to have a good old time from point A to point B, have at it. But I think that it's the idea is to women it's shopped in our culture as something that's fun, something that is something you should be doing. Because I got to tell you, I felt this very much as being someone who was an outlier, as someone who was a party girl and popular, but didn't want to hook up with guys because I thought it was really intimate and I thought it was really important.
Yeah.
So I was really a weird bird, you know, because it wasn't a prude thing. I wasn't from a religious background. It was just something about me, and I felt very weird. I mean, I felt very weird, and I felt like compromising myself before. Again, this does not come from a religious thing. This does not come from a value thing. It just comes from a personal thing. It was like, there's like a lot of pressure, and if I had done that, I would have felt really pretty bad about myself. And I think there's a lot of like kind of girls out there that kind of sway to putting it out, and like, your body's sacred, man.
Once
you don't
again,
have to feel
too,
that
yeah,
way,
just
but if you feel that way as a girl, a lot of us are kind of like, your body's important, like what's between your legs is important, your heart is important, your intimacy, and sharing that. Like, to be honest, I would have been very happy to have waited until marriage. Again, not from a religious background. Because
Listen,
that's
only
so
if a
important.
lot more girls were like Constance. Because
Well, yeah.
nowadays, the way it's talked about and the way it's viewed is just another thing. Is
Right.
just
It's just
sex.
another thing
I
you
think it's
do.
Right, and then,
regressive. I think
you
it's
know, just move on
yeah.
after that, whatever the case.
Yeah, if it's in your heart, have at it. I'm not saying that. That's the thing, but I'm just saying I think it's gone the opposite way. where
Definitely
it's
has.
pushed as the normal. Like on a first date, you should be screwing or spreading your legs for a dude having like his junk in your mouth. Are you serious? Like, no
We talking
way.
oral too now.
No, I'm sorry. I just like I'm a weirdo in that way, but maybe I speak for some women.
No,
out
but
there.
like I
know,
said,
you're right. You're like, yo, I don't even know where your
seriously,
junk been. Like, I'm just,
That's
mean-
something
whoa,
that's
what
inspired
happened?
once you're in love with the guy. You're
Like, first
inspired
we
to want
was talking
please
over
him.
Instagram, and then we here now. Like, I'm on my knees.
Yeah, I just
Now I
just
got
don't want,
your balls in
you
my
know,
mouth.
I just
But-
don't want girls to sell
Isn't it-
themselves out. I don't want girls to sell themselves
Okay,
out. That's what
okay.
I
Isn't
think.
it
I just wanna say
funny
real quick-
though, guys,
You
that
poor
we're
guys.
even having an
Oh,
actual
God.
show talking about hookups, where back in the day, hookups were frowned upon, right? I feel like over time they become more of the norm, you know. But say if we were having this show in
Well, because
like
it's
what,
also-
the
it's also-
80s or the 90s, they'll be like, no, blah blah blah, all that.
But
stuff.
it's also, you have to think about where we are in our television and our cable programming. It's also put in our faces more. It's
That's right.
It's kind of
Now it's on our phones,
Exactly, it's
24/7, and we're
celebrated
hooked on our
more.
phones.
Right.
You know, even though we're still not as progressive when it comes to our sexuality as other European countries, we still are pretty out there as well in our own right. And I mean, now it is looked at as not being that big of a deal. So, and you see that on TV, and that also sinks into your your subconscious
Right,
and your
right.
psyche, and it's like, okay, this is okay. I see it on TV. My friends are doing it.
Right.
You know, I see it on movies.
Yeah.
It might not be that big of a thing. The one thing I just want to say real quick was that my dad always used to tell me, you know, don't let a woman hold over you that, well, I gave you me, because he said you are equally as important. You know, as she is giving herself to you, and she is losing a little part of herself, you are also giving yourself to her and losing a little part of yourself. And for me, that actually made a big difference
Wow.
in my level of hoacity coming up. You know, I always joke like, man, if I knew the things I knew back then, I would have been more of a hoe. But it did actually make a big deal, a big difference, because I, like you, felt like, okay, there's got to be a little bit more behind it
Yeah.
than just, oh, I'm just going to do it just for the fun of it,
Right.
because I am giving myself as well. So it's a 50-50 thing. And I feel like if women look at that more so, if you look at it like, okay, I did have sex and I didn't necessarily, you know, nothing's going to come of it. You know, I'm probably never going to talk to this guy again. But remember, he also gave himself to you. So it wasn't a one-way street, you know, as long as it was consensual on both ends. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't beat
Interesting.
yourself up too much about it, because even though he may not be thinking about it the same way you are, he did lose a little bit of himself when he laid down with you as you did with him.
That's a good point. Men
Yeah.
are kind of seen as not so significant in their bodies. That's a good point.
But you really are. Like, I mean, your junk is just as important as her junk.
Yeah, equal opportunity
It takes
junk.
two to tango.
It
And
really does.
This is funny because this was actually a little comment that was left on, I think, smarthookup.com, where this guy says, I really don't like to hit it and quit it, but I feel like I have to because all the women are so sexually active. If I don't, I'll fall behind them. I don't want to fall for someone and then find out she did all the guys on the Eastern Seaboard while I only had a handful of encounters. I don't buy into the past is past baloney. The past predicts the future, and once a hookup queen, always a hookup queen. That's interesting. But to your point about him, he wanted to get some experience because he said he doesn't like to hit it and quit it, but he feels like he has to, or he'll fall behind. So guys have feelings too.
I think I'd say you got to work on your game. I'll say that, but I don't know if hitting it and quitting it is the way to go about it. But
Yeah, I would, I would say instead of just going out and intentionally raising your body count just for the sake of getting experience, just subscribe to
one main,
subscribe to like Brazzers.com or something. Like subscribe to something and just watch a lot of stuff and work on your, you know what I'm saying, and get your technique that way or get some books.
Guys, we had a whole show planned for you guys.
We did.
We had a whole show.
A whole show.
For sure.
We got a whole show.
Say, speaking of,
right,
you know what I'm saying, working out, let's talk about SwoleMates real quick.
Yes, SwoleMates. So what goes down, guys, is everybody wants a good gym partner. I know I go to the gym a few times a week. I enjoy working out with other people.
He's got a cot in the back.
I actually do. No, I'm playing. So, what are the benefits of working out with another person? One, they can keep you on top of your game.
Mm-hmm.
Two,
they hold you accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meaning you can push each other. Yes. 1, 2.
You can do it.
3. Yes, exactly. Give you that encouragement and stuff. And this is the interesting one here, which relates to our show, of course, here is it's a low-key great entry dating way into possibly something more.
It is definitely a good
Have you ever
icebreaker.
asked a girl to work out?
I actually have asked a woman to work out.
It's cool. It's a sexy
it's not
invitation.
bad. Yeah, it's good and bad. It's cause like I try to be professional with the workouts, but I'm not trying to stare at her ass the whole time. So it's, but I'm working out here.
Okay, all right.
Have you had one? A SwoleMate? A sexy SwoleMate? You work out a lot too. You go like spin.
Your boy's off the wagon. I've been off the wagon for like a good month. I'm not even going front.
Your boy's off the wagon.
But have I had a good SwoleMate?
Like, or even a relationship where you worked out together a lot.
I've had that, really. And I came to find out I work out harder in the gym than her. So it was like, I'll do like 1 or 2, and I'll see you back afterwards. So
right.
Okay.
It's like, like it's always
right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
For me, it's either been where it started out like that, and then she kind of tapered off and wasn't really all into it because girls always be like, no, I don't want to lift weights because I want to be big. Which is such a terrible myth. It's
not big. You get
lifting
toned.
weights, exactly. Lifting weights is not necessarily going to make you big or swole or cut up. It's going to help tone and tighten. Mm-hmm. However, I haven't really had a consistent SwoleMate. And at the same time, I don't know if I necessarily have really wanted. I see it in the gym, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. But I don't know if I've actually really wanted that because, like, low key, like I like that bond that you get with another guy as you guys are lifting weights and
2 guys sweating around. I don't know if I can approve that,
Kels.
Kels.
Here's my thing. Seriously. Like when I am consistent in the gym, like I like to lift heavy. I feel like for me, my body type, I see results faster when I lift heavier. And for me to lift heavy, I need someone that's going to be able to spot me.
The same way, right?
So not every potential SwoleMate is going to be able to spot me and help me work out as intensely as I would like to work out. Therefore, that's why I prefer to work out with a guy. Plus, it's just another, we can shoot the breeze, we can shoot the shit and just have guy talk.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like, yeah, man, your biceps look real nice today. No,
man,
not
the
at all.
6-pack. It's coming in, huh?
Let me, yeah. That's
Is that a
nice.
V? Hold up.
That's funny.
Not even a little bit. Not even.
Let
a
me
little
feel
bit.
up on a bit. Nah.
Well, of course, I looked at a study, and some of the benefits of working out as a couple is, of course, you experience the endorphins together, which is basically the runner's high. So there's the possibility for that. It also helps your sex drive.
Ooh,
just working out in general helps your sex drive.
Right,
and it
yeah.
also is like seen as a bonding thing, particularly if you guys are both in very good shape. But if you're trying to meet a goal together, let's just say you're just both trying to lose lbs, whatnot, and you're working together, it can be, especially if you're in an LTR, long-term relationship, and you're working together, it's kind of like you have a common goal and it bonds people.
Yeah,
So
I definitely agree with that. I think the best way to go about a relationship is both sides going towards one common goal. 'Cause
Exactly.
isn't that what a relationship is?
True,
it
true,
improves
true.
the friendship component of the relationship. You also become like friends too, because you're doing something together. You know, they always say that
Besides
you know,
just sex.
yeah, or just they always say that men get to know each other because men actually go do things together, like play golf or work out, or guys when they're becoming friends with guys.
Yeah.
Women tend to get to know each other by talking. I know that's gonna blow your minds. We
It's
tend to
a
get to know.
different kind of talking, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like females talk about what they actually want to, emotions and all that stuff. Guys just talk to
Right.
We're talking just to
We're
have a
talking,
conversation.
right? Yeah,
Right.
I'm not
exactly.
like, yo, man, so how are you feeling today?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm not.
this
letting you-
happened to me, and this is how I felt about it.
I was so crushed afterwards, guys.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you guys
I
are
was
You wouldn't
funny.
hear
devastated.
that.
I was
You wouldn't hear that.
My
devastated.
husband, I asked, he had been out with his golf. He was playing golf with his golf partner or something. And when he got home, it was funny. I was like, "How's he doing?" I'm like, "How's his baby?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "Are they working on another baby?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "How's his wife?" And he's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Didn't you just hang out all day with him?" He's like, "Yeah, but we didn't talk about that. We talked about like fishing and golf. We didn't
There you go.
We
Talk about the game.
We talked about stuff.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
Had nothing to do with how are you emotionally handling, the stress of trying to produce another child? Like, what? No. Okay, but before we go to questions and conundrums, I know we're, getting pressed for time, but I really want to. Oh, we got a video clip actually.
We got a great video to inspire you to find your
Boom.
SwoleMate. Yes.
SwoleMates. Getting it in,
Yeah.
working out together. Let's look at it.
Total Bodied by April. Check her out. This is her and her man. And they are SwoleMates. Hashtag SwoleMates.
Oh,
See,
that's
that is
dope.
sexy. She's got a hard
Fitness
body. I
goals.
like her
That's
big
dope.
Fitness goals
right there.
all day. That's fitness love
See, it's
goals right there.
cool.
That's
It's
love
fun.
fit.
And this is what I
Hey,
love. This is my
ooh,
favorite.
okay.
This is a common SwoleMate situation right here. You see
Yeah.
that a lot.
That's also another situation.
I know, but isn't it great? I
That's
You
love
might be
this
doing some
one.
crawling on the floor.
This is a common one, and I like that
Yeah,
one.
but no, but that's dope though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
dope.
kinda
That's definitely
cool.
dope.
Total Bodied by April.
Total Body by April. Make sure you
Jeez.
check that out.
Makes me-
Plug. Okay, but
Makes me want somebody.
yes.
God damn it.
I know we've only got a little bit of time, but we really did not get to tap on your boy. We
Yeah.
have to talk about Wow.
Yes.
Bow Wow, that is. And
Oh, right.
your boy's got a show coming out tomorrow. Not trying to plug, but it's a plug. Growing up hip hop in Atlanta.
Just posted it on my blog, actually.
Yep, there you go. So, L's on L's on L's. Like, Complex had a good little quick feature where they were talking about all the L's that he has taken throughout his career. And definitely this one where, the
Is
Bow
our
Wow
most
Challenge
recent.
started from, with him sending, putting up the stock picture and then be like, yeah, about to hit that PJ when he was really, on a regular flight flying coach, which there's nothing wrong with flying coach, by
Nothing
the way,
wrong.
as a celebrity. Because I'm sorry, it is low-key ridiculous to spend as much money as you spend
Them
for,
prices
especially
is
on
ridiculous.
certain flights, first class. Like, is it really that serious? Like, for me, it's not. I don't care how much money I'm gonna have. Mark my words, when your boy blows up, I'm still gonna fly coach from time to time, and then I might just do something, crazy. Like, you know what? Instead of flying first class and wasting a bunch of money, I'll just fly coach, and boom, everybody's snack and lunch boxes is on your boy.
There you
Like,
go.
that's a cool,
Smart.
right? That's a cool thing to do. So. This latest thing is, him kicking the chick out of his room during the IG stream. Was that an L, or is that not really an L? Is that going to hurt him or not?
I think the reasoning as to why he kicked her out was
Shallow.
a stupid reason.
It was.
it an L? No, because
Not on
if
him.
it's your party or your gathering, you can do whatever
set the rules.
you want. Yeah, exactly. So,
This is
but I
very
think
true.
the reasoning why he did it was just stupid. Because
No, see, yeah, it was a shallow reason. I get it though. From the standpoint of the fact that like she was on Snapchat all day, she was taking pictures and doing all of this and just all over social media all day.
All up in the
videos. But then when it came time to his IG stream, it's like, oh, now you want to be all secretive and hiding out and all that. And she was low key kind of suspect. So I get it. From his perspective, I get it. But yeah, it was shallow. Sometimes I don't have a problem with Bao. It's just that the way he talks, he just I feel like his idea of himself is just really overinflated.
Yes, definitely.
Like he
And a lot of
definitely has
people
tiny man
say
complex.
that. A lot of people say
Tiny
that,
man
yeah.
complex all day. But hey man, it is what it is.
Do you think it's because he was a star as a child?
Definitely,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, granted, I think anybody would have loved to had been Bow Wow at that age to go
Yeah.
But at
to
this
go through
point, I
what
just
he's
feel like
gone through. But being the age that he is now,
30?
he still acts as if he is that 13-year-old that everybody loves, which he's not, Now he's 30,
Yeah.
So you just gotta act your age.
yeah, like I feel like he's doing too much. Like, and I feel like because you're not at that level that you used to be. And he still thinks he is. And nobody's really, let's be honest, nobody's really checking for Bow like that. Unless they're diehard Bow Wow fans. So I just feel like he just needs to dial it back a little bit. That's
I
just
actually
me.
wrote a hilarious blog post about this last
You
week,
did?
and it's called Bow Wow, Stop It. Go to beyourowndad.blogspot.com to go check that. And it was just my response on everything that he's been doing, and he needs to stop it.
Yes.
But go
Be
check his
humble.
new show,
Sit
Growing Up
down.
Hip Hop, this Thursday. And I guess you'll find out some more about that.
Oh, definitely want to check it out, and we might talk about it on the show. Real quick, Dope Tech 101 tip of the week. Yo, it's warming up outside, and that means that when it's warming up outside, it's even hotter in your cars. Don't leave your phone in your car. If you got an iPod, some of us still rock iPods. I know I do. If you have an iPod in your car, which you use for your music, don't leave it in the car. Whatever you do, try to avoid leaving your laptops, tablets, phones, iPods. Try to reduce how long you leave these devices in your car, because the extreme heat takes a serious toll on the battery, and it will kill your battery life of your device, and overall just compromise the integrity and the functionality of the device over time. It will shorten its lifespan. So that is your boys Dope Tech 101 tip of the week. Stop leaving your devices in your car. If you know you're gonna be out all day, either don't bring it with you, or put it in the house, or bring it inside with you. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in the bag, bring it inside with you.
That's good to know.
Otherwise, you're just wasting your money.
I usually let my phone bake in my car, so I won't be doing that anymore.
And that is a good tip to leave. And that has been our episode, guys. This week's of dating, mating, and communicating. Of course, we love to continue the conversation. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment box. We will always check that out for our next week's show. You can also reach out to us on all social medias and continue the conversation. I am your host, Jimmy V, at Be Your Own Dad, Twitter and Instagram. Go check the blog post, beyourowndad.blogspot.com. You just might like it.
Yes, of course, you can always reach out to find me, Constance Dunn, on Twitter or Instagram. Hope you're doing well. Talk soon.
It's your man, it's your boy, your man, your boy, your kid, whatever you want to call me. It's Chaos J, KAOSJ on Twitter. You know where to find me. Instagram, Chaos_Oceans31. 31 flavors of waviness all day. Holla at your boy. Let's talk about it.
See you guys next week.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.